Hey folks, happy Monday to you. We continue our prayer calendar for December. It is a brand new prayer calendar. Today is Monday, December 5th. If you need a copy of this prayer calendar on our website, FUMCCV.org, // I don't know, one of those slashes, prayer. It's on the Facebook page every morning, and there are copies, physical copies around campus. So today, as we talk about the incarnation, the prayer prompt says, God has spoken to us through his Son. God has spoken to us through his Son. And Hebrews chapter 1, verses 1 through 3 is where we are. So Hebrews, open in your Bible over to Hebrews. It is in the New Testament, almost to the very end of the Bible. So not very many pages, maybe 50 pages or so before the end of the Bible. You'll find Hebrews is written by the Apostle Paul, and it was written to a group of Jewish Christians that were living in Rome, we believe. And so those folks are living under pretty difficult circumstances of persecution and having to hide their faith and being ridiculed for their faith. And so it's a difficult time. Plus, they're learning lots of people are teaching against certain Christian principles. And so it's a difficult time for them. Paul begins the letter this way. Long ago, God spoke to our ancestors in many and various ways by the prophets. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by a Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, through whom he also created the worlds. He is the reflection of God's glory and the exact imprint of God's very being, and he sustains all things by his powerful word. When he had made purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high. And so we're thinking about how God has spoken to us through his Son. I love this line, verse 3. He is the reflection of God's glory and the exact imprint of God's very being. So we're saying Jesus is the reflection of God's glory and the exact imprint of God's being. It's almost as if, actions speak louder than words. You know that phrase, actions speak louder than words, that the presence of Jesus, the incarnation of Jesus, seeing Jesus is God's action. Right? It's not the words. It's not that God says to be filled with grace or mercy, or God says, I forgive you. God says all those things, but those are words, and Jesus is the action. And so we can see perfectly the exact imprint of God's being as we look upon Jesus. And so that's why the Gospels are so important to us, because as we read the Gospels and we understand the character of Jesus, then we understand, of course, the character of God, as those are two one in the same. So think about your actions versus your words, sort of that old wristband WWJD, what would Jesus do? Your actions matter. And the actions of God, sending his Son and sacrificing his Son, is certainly the action that speaks louder than anything else about God's love for you and I. I pray that you know, that you feel that love today. God bless. Have a great day.